My name is, I produce under the name of Palms Trax. I'm a producer and DJ based in Berlin, Germany. Born in the UK. I do a monthly radio show on Berlin Community Radio, and then I make records for Dekmantel, which is a Dutch label and festival based in Amsterdam. I'm primarily from a kind of band background. I played piano since I was very young. Then I started playing a lot of bands, and really electronic music wasn't on my radar until I maybe was 17, 18. I got into hip hop and then like Aphex Twin and kind of the Warp Records style. It took me a long time to get into like functional dance music. I think what first drew me to it was hearing like Burrell Brothers or something like that for the first time, because they had proper song structures, amazing melodies, hooks, choruses, things that I could get my head around and like relate to. So that was really my entrance point to like dance music, and ever since then I've kind of been making music, and that's what I try and do. Like, I really like to make a song with proper structures and make it as hard as possible for myself. I don't know, if it's too easy I tend to think that it's not good enough. Like, I have to slog at it for 2-3 months before I feel like, okay, I've earned putting this out. My involvement with Lobster Theremin goes back to when I was studying in London. I used to make kind of UK garage stuff under another alias, and I uploaded some of it to MySpace when I first moved there. And Jimmy, who went on to start Lobster Theremin, he wrote to me on MySpace and he asked me if I wanted to DJ at one of his parties. He was kind of doing this more so like hip-hop oriented nights, and I had no idea how to DJ, but I was like incredibly broke, so I decided to do some sort of like YouTube tutorial and learn how to DJ. Probably not my finest hour, but we stayed in touch, and his party shifted more towards the houseier end of the spectrum. I mean, he had people like Fred P and Natalia Johnson, and he was kind enough to invite me back to DJ, sort of be a warm-up DJ / like resident for those guys. And I made some music, some house tracks. Some of them weren't very good, but eventually I made a couple, and we ended up at his house one night, and I played them to him, and he felt quite strongly about them, and he wanted to release them. So that was the first record, and then I had a few left over from that period, and he released that as a kind of white label. And then Dekmantel got in touch. Casper from Dekmantel actually wrote to me on Facebook, and he asked if I wanted to do a record for them. And like, I've been working at Phonica kind of part-time, and I bought the 5th anniversary compilation from Dekmantel, and I was like a huge fan, obviously. And so it was kind of thrilling but nerve-wracking at the same time. I mean, I'm not the most productive of producers, so it took me like maybe 9 months to get something back to them. And that was the first EP, and then I did the second EP of them. But, you know, I'm going to keep releasing on Dekmantel, but I also would like to release again on Lobster Theremin. It's not like I've gone from one to the other. It's just that at the moment, Dekmantel is it's very special for me. Like, and Jimmy from Lobster Theremin like appreciates that. Like, we both were really into the label in London. They both mean a lot to us, so it's kind of like a dream come true for me to be on that. I was already into electronic music, and I felt like I was in London, and you know, some of my friends are putting on nights, and I just wanted to, I mean, it sounds cheesy, but I kind of wanted to give something back, like do something. I was tired of just going to nights, and I wanted to kind of do my own thing. It was a learning curve. I mean, I was very unlucky in a way. You know, there's only so many cities where you can do a night, and at the same time you'll have one man back-to-back Jam Master, back-to-back Ben UFA for the first time ever. First ever Workshop Records night in London, Cassim Moss, Eventual, Move D, Low Tech, Theo Parish residency at Plastic People, like all within maybe a 10-minute walk of one another. So it was a tough night, but I would really love to do that again. I really enjoy like the idea of programming nights and putting it on. That's what I like doing that's what I like about my radio show. Yeah, I mean, if things had been going well for me in London, I would never have moved to Berlin. I finished studying. I was doing music. I was studying music technology, but it really wasn't doing anything for me, and it was a lot of like microphone placement and just stuff that I had a sort of slight interest in, but it wasn't where I saw myself going. And then when that came to an end, I couldn't afford to stay in London. Like the jobs that I was doing, they weren't paying. I was interning in a lot of places, and it wasn't going to lead to any paid work. So a friend of mine was moving to Berlin, and I joined him. I didn't think I would stay this long, to be honest. I thought that I would just come straight home, but I got an internship doing PR, music PR, and the first year I was just kind of subletting, moving around, staying in different places week in, week out. Didn't have any money. I was working for free, and then when I got back from work in the evenings, I would do freelance work, transcriptions, or the odd bit of the press release or something, and I somehow have managed to survive to this day. But that's the great thing about Berlin, is I moved there from London, and in London I met a few people, but in Berlin it seemed like every party I went to, I was just meeting lots and lots of people who had similar interests, and they became really good friends, and a lot of them really helped me to find work or to give me my first gigs, and give me my radio show, and like give me a leg up, which I really appreciate. Fascinoma was really good. I didn't really know what to expect. I guess like it was the first year, so I didn't really have anything to draw upon. But the sound system was just like incredible. Like the more festivals I play, the more I appreciate good sound at a festival. It's kind of rare to have sound that's crystal clear but also incredibly loud. So that was great. The organization for me was great. I'd actually just flown from Paris to Miami and played in Miami the night before, and then arrived at the festival on the final day. So I didn't have as much time as I would have liked to have checked it out, but from what I saw, like it's going to be incredible next year, and it will just get bigger and bigger, I guess. My advice would be patient. I had a lot of moments before my first record where I felt, okay, why? I feel like I'm ready. Why is no one picking up on this? But looking back, I was just not ready, and the songs weren't ready. But that's not to say that I didn't know what I was doing. I just wasn't patient enough in my process. Like, I think every producer is kind of, I was looking for a magic button that would kind of transform my songs. But at the end of the day, I knew what I was doing. You're using like a drum machine or some synthesizers, and then you would EQ them to get them fitting together, and you would maybe use some compression, and that's all there is to it. It's just like, you just need to be a bit more patient and be like, okay, I'm going to spend an extra 45 minutes on this part, as opposed to just leaving it as basic as it is now. So patience, that's what I would say.